you want him to do it, just text him to call in.
No experts, no insiders, just fans.
Transmission from Smackdown Wrestling Podcast begins in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Begin broadcast.
And welcome to Tuesday Night Smackdown. This is episode number 312 of the longest-running weekly overproduced, undertalented, episodic, sometimes echoing, often infighting wrestling podcast. This is Smackdown. I am your host, Adam Baum. I am excited to be here. Up until literally 1 minute before the show, our show, my show right here, was going to start, I was prepared, and as you can see on the camera, it is just faced at me to do a show by myself. However, Irish showed up at the last second, so Irish is here. Welcome, Irish. Say hello.
Hola.
Kayfabe break. Again, Irish is here a fucking minute ago, so he has not seen shit. I don't know what I'm going to get out of him. Maybe he'll just fill the dead air for me to take a breath. On the board, let's see who we got. We got Kevin from Texas, Daniel Price, Hall of Famer Noah, Teddy Two Stone Hart. Juan is here. I saw Alex Carter earlier, Christopher Stykeleather. I'm sure some others will join us. No one on Twitch yet, but we are going to get it. I had to put Teddy in timeout because he called me Kevin on the board. That's just the type of thing he would do since, I mean, it's the type of thing you would do when you're this way.
Oh, man. I have no idea what's going on.
Teddy has no clue.
See, I mean, really, if he's Irish, he should be drunk. I don't smoke.
Oh, yeah, but he's Teddy Two Stone Heart, not Teddy Two Drunk Heart. So, I mean, it's right there in the name, Irish.
What you need to make a good smackdown is your 3 key ingredients.
All right, now, here we go. Justin has joined us on Twitch, so we're fully ready to get it started. Our 3 key ingredients tonight, number 1, best buds. That's a little play on words. Number 2, finally. And number 3, are you happy? Anaconda Vice isn't here yet. I assume he's coming, but he should be happy because I'm very happy. Honestly, the whole show was a very good show. I don't want to be the sexist person I normally am. I could have done without the women tonight. The one match they had was okay, but as long as Carmella's champion, I think she's bringing the entire thing down. Daniel Price on the board says, Adam Solo could crash worse than half a Wright brother. Thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. Teddy says, I'm not his friend anymore. And down with marked out censorship. That's from Juan because I timed out Teddy. Oh. Anyway, the women just, there wasn't anything exciting. Next week will be exciting when they announce that Becky's going to fight Carmella at SummerSlam. But this week, all they did was jar back and forth with each other with no actually end in sight. So this isn't a topic, Irish, so you don't even have to talk about it. I just wanted to mention there's no women. Number 1, best buds. I was sitting here watching with Rob, and he asked me, and Stykeleather, you're on the board, so fact check me here. He asked me if Orton and Jeff really had a feud. And I said I think they might have had an IC feud at some time, maybe a hardcore something, when Orton was early in his career, because most of Orton's like big push days were when Jeff was in TNA. So I think
not his early stuff, not his Legend Killer stuff.
No, I know. Well, no. I'm talking about Jeff. Yeah, Legend Killer, no, he was around, but that's why I'm saying they might have fought for the hardcore or the IC or something in that era. They never really, right. I don't remember them having a long feud. I'm sure they had a match here or there or something. And so I titled this Best Buds because I'm wondering if they're both with RVD gone, they're the two big stoners on the roster. So best buds, implying that are they getting high together? So they're like, hey, we trust each other. We're friends. Let's do a work.
Well, I mean, like, when you have these two guys who have been doing it for 20 years now, and I mean, Jeff Hardy a little longer than Orton, but I mean, like, you got guys that have that much experience. I mean, like, I think even if they hadn't worked with each other that much before, they'd still trust the other's body of work.
I know, but this angle is kind of out of nowhere, just to have the two of them work. They were both. I mean, Orton. Let's be honest. Orton went over the top tonight. You don't know this, but Irish, you have friends that have gauges, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Jeff Hardy has gauges. I think you can see where I'm going with this. Randy Orton flat out tortured Jeff tonight, trying to pull the gauge out. And the camera was close as shit, and Jeff was obviously in pain. I don't know if he's a masochist or if he agreed with that. Leo's joined us. Anaconda Vice did finally catch up, but holy shit. It was hard to watch. The board was talking about this before we started. They were talking about this on our board, like how brutal that was. I've seen guys blade and bleed and whatever. I've never felt bad for them. I might have gone, ooh, like in the moment that it happened. This I'm watching and going, wow. Just wow. Like his ear, I thought there might be a thing where they're going to pull it all the way out. Also on Twitch joining us, OKC Rules 82. I had to read that wrong. I thought it was OK Cruels. It's OKC Rules. Anyway.
Same thing.
Brutal Tug. You started too early for me. Anaconda Vice was late. Randy just gave his earlobe a gentle finger banging. Jeff sold the eargasm really well. You think that was gentle, Daniel Price on the board saying that? I don't think there was anything gentle about that. It was stretched. The camera was in close.
Well, so what I say without having watched it, but knowing you, and knowing how you are with the violence on the screen, and how you're like, all right, that's brutal, but yeah, and how the look on your face just shows me that is not the usual level of brutality.
It was weird. Berto's joining us late. Double G Gaming.
Yeah, I'm seeing pictures now. Wow.
He says, you by yourself, Adam. I was supposed to be by myself. I set up the camera by myself because nobody wanted to show up. And Irish showed up 1 minute to the show, and I'm just not going to reset the camera.
That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Anaconda Vice, before we go on to topic 2, says, Adam, rate SmackDown 1 out of 10. I think tonight, and it sucks that we lost Noah, but I think tonight was probably 7.5, 8. There was definitely stuff that could have been better. Why would I time out Kevin Teddy on the board? I'm not going to time out him. That's not the Kevin you think it is. I hope Randy washed his hands, Mika Meach says. Yeah, the way he tugged on that could maybe cause an infection. I don't know. Jeff's also had huge gauges beforehand and popped one of them out. Oh, so he's used to this. I didn't know that. I answered your question, Stike Leather says, look at the board. They feuded over the WWE Championship in 2008, and Randy's last match before he had surgery was he lost the U.S. title against Hardy. That's what I thought, was that they fought each other, but I thought then Jinder was the guy in between, and then Jinder beat Randy, and then Jeff beat Jinder. But I guess I'm wrong there. That's why I couldn't remember if they just fought. I don't know. On my own with no check. The back of the ear smell, Mika Meach says. Noah died. No, he didn't die. He just left the board. And 8.5, Alex Carter says, seems like Randy gave up on ripping it out, but almost did. It was brutal. Let me just say that. Irish is over there watching it, so I'm going to
number 2.
Move on to number 2. Number 2, finally. Miz had a eulogy for Team Hell No tonight. Not a Miz TV, he had a eulogy. He talked about all the things of the feud, and of course, you know, some say Kane is injured, some say it's a work. It could be a combo of both, but they're citing it a broken ankle by the Bludgeon Brothers. So maybe that means they can officially go back to their red gear instead of their green gear because they killed Kane. I don't know. I don't give a shit. All I care about, and I can't help but think, Irish, that this has something to do with Daniel Bryan just recently re-signing, but now They probably even dangled that carrot out there like, look, we got a chance to make this one of the best feuds of all time. You got to resign. This has never seen it through, and we've built it up to where everybody wants it going into SummerSlam. And tonight, shots finally got fired.
Well, it's just like I said last week, and like I will continue to say, The Miz is the best heel in the WWE, actively. And setting him up, and they've been teasing this Daniel Bryan Miz feud, like it's on, and then it's kind of pushed to the side, and then it's back on, then it's pushed to the side. And I think Daniel Bryan really wants it, and I know The Miz wants it.
I think Daniel Bryan got cleared at the wrong time of year, and his contract was getting ready to come up, and they're like, we don't want to put this on a throwaway pay-per-view. We want this to be on SummerSlam, and we don't have enough time to make it the right for WrestleMania. We don't want to rush it.
So you think Team Hell No was a stalling tactic just to get them something to do?
I think Team Hell No was a rewritten stall tactic after they let Big Cass go because he was the original stall tactic. I think he was supposed to stall all the way to Miz Daniel Bryan.
That makes sense.
And I just maybe Sanity and New Day were booked this way the whole time, and Bludgeon was just supposed to beat some other people. I don't know. Or have some singles matches, or just hold the titles like fucking Brock Lesnar does. Justin says the Gage pull was worse than the nut shot on Sunday. But we're on to topic 2. We're talking about Miz and Daniel Bryan. Nothing really happened because Daniel attacked the 3 security guards or the 3 pallbearers or whatever the fuck they were. He attacked them. He didn't get any shots on Miz, and Miz ran away up the ramp like a smarmy heel should. So it worked perfectly for his character. Cashmere's here. To me, that match should main event SummerSlam, is what Stike says. He says, or have, and I'm not going to read that because that's my next topic. And Daniel Price, you are also getting ahead of yourselves. If booked right, Miz versus Daniel Bryan could be the feud of the year. That's what Alex Carter says. I agree. I really think it could be. Both guys can work. We already care about this feud. It's been made very real. These are 2 guys that are both outside of Cena, like the stars of the male parts of their reality TV shows. You know, they're the counterparts of the 3 top divas.
Yeah.
Arguably Maryse, but you know what I'm saying. She's in the mix. And of course, the Bellas have their own show, and now Maryse has their own show. So yeah, it makes sense. I really, I hate to put this out there in the ether, but I don't see how WWE could fuck this build up.
All right, well, never ever doubt the WWE when it comes to fucking up build-ups and fucking up feuds.
I know.
Vince McMahon loves to fuck shit up.
Yeah.
And not in a good way.
Leo says we've had a nice slow cook and build in this feud. They let it stew. That crock pot is smelling nice and ready for SummerSlam.
Well, like I think we said before last week, I think both you and I agree that if they do this right, they can have this simmer on and off until WrestleMania pays off, and they can make this something really special.
Oh, I don't think it's going to be a simmer on and off. I think that they can build on that to WrestleMania if they want it. At least maybe a blow off at Rumble. Maybe Rumble's the end. Go from SummerSlam to Rumble. But they could build this up really, really well and keep it going with legs. They've done a really good job of certain feuds that had a build like this of keeping them going for up to 6 months. It's that month 7 and month 8 where you're like, getting a little stale.
I'm telling you, like,
AJ and Cena kind of got a little stale toward the end, even though it was red hot. AJ and KO went, I think, a little too long. KO and Jericho is perfect, but KO and Sammy, I think he went to the well one too many times, too frequently and recent. But you never know.
I like the KO and Jericho feud. That was a good one.
Justin says those pallbearers were probably 3 jobbers. I think actually over on YouTube, Justin, Daniel Price is right. Those are new Performance Center signees probably. Just go out there and take some bumps. Because they didn't get any offense in, of course. Oh, Daniel Bryan just beat him while Miz ran away. Indeed, Irish Vince likes giving it to you with no lube while his grapefruit slap your nether regions. That's from Daniel Price.
Be Rey Mysterio, damn it!
Yeah. Build to WrestleMania for the title, Mika Meach says. I think that I think that adding the title later is a good way. I know I predicted that Daniel Bryan finally got the title, and then Miz cashes in, and the title is part of the feud when it reignites. I do like this better, that the title will get added in later. Maybe there's a multi-man match like a Chamber or Survivor Series, something, and one of them gets the belt that way.
I think it'll only make sense if the Miz managed to walk away with the title from Elimination Chamber.
Well, and it could be a triple threat with AJ involved in the middle too.
Yeah, that's true.
You never know what's going to happen there. AJ is our next topic, but let me finish and see what the old board has to say. Now that the announcer said that they're going to fuck up the feud, we said it, and now it's going to manifest into reality. Great job, Morty. LOL. That's from Leo. Thanks, Leo. I like to test the gods. I'll learn from my hero, Scott Hall, Teddy says, by doing blunts and Valium together. I just don't trust WWE to book Miz and Daniel Bryan in a long-standing feud, Stike. I trust them to book it. I don't trust them to do it right, is what I think he meant to say. Cena and AJ never got stale. They stopped after SummerSlam, had a triple threat with Dean, and didn't face off again until their last match in January. That's from Berto. Okay. That's a good point, though, to keep the feud going, is that they kind of took some time off from the feud and then went back to it in January. So that's something that they could do. They could have, a Chapter 1. They both get distracted for a minute, then a Chapter 2. I don't know. Miz and Bryan could be Survivor Series captains this year, Cashmere said. That's another way to keep the feud going an extra month. Never introduce the belt. Make it about who's the better man, Leo says. I think you got to have the belt as part of the blow-off in the very end, but maybe you're right, Leo. And Miz and Bryan is fine at SummerSlam through Hell in a Cell. Miz wins WWE title, and somehow Bryan and Miz at Mania. Yeah, well, maybe the feud starts. It takes a hiatus for a while. One of them wins the belt, and then it comes back around. Teddy says, Adam, you shouldn't have said that. Yeah, I probably shouldn't. The belt doesn't always make things better, Leo said. I agree. I'm saying that to make the feud go longer and make it a little more new, you might have to introduce the title. IA Strikeforce is joining us. He says, SummerSlam to Royal Rumble match to Mania. It could reignite at the Royal Rumble. There's a lot of possibilities. Guys, unfortunately, here's my knock on wood for you, for all those who don't want me to say this, but maybe somebody gets hurt and something detours on the way. Maybe they add somebody else. Maybe Brock Lesnar decides to take every belt hostage, and we don't have any, so it can't be involved. Who the fuck knows?
Brock Lesnar, women's champion.
Yeah. Now, everybody wanted to talk about this a minute ago. I bet you everybody gets silent on the board now that we're going to get to it.
Number 3.
Anaconda Vice is here. I'm glad. Are you happy? Are you happy? You know what our first match was on the card tonight, Irish? Andrade Cien Almas versus AJ Styles.
That was the first match?
That was the first match, and it lasted a good 20, 25 minutes.
Wow.
I don't have the exact time. All Almas, all the time. The entire match was Almas. Non-stop. Why? Because they just wanted to showcase him, and he looked damn fucking good. In the end, AJ had a good reversal and got the calf crusher, and Almas tapped. Great match the whole way. On the board, real quick, catching up, they said, this is the one match that doesn't need a championship, or just like Gargano and Ciampa, they're comparing it to, Stike says, on NXT. It's a good comparison, but guess what? They're keeping that feud going by Ciampa winning the title, I think, against Aleister Black, and then going back with Gargano on it. So
much for that.
Yeah. And Joey Ryan, WWE wants the dick spot in WWE. Feud for Kane's friendship. What the hell? And Almas is legit. Mika Meach says, his moonsault Adam Anaconda Vice says, did Almas toss the mask entrance in NXT? Love that. I don't remember him doing that. He came out with a lucha mask and then tossed it aside. I'm pretty sure that, Kevin, he didn't do that because he used to come out with the hat. It was like a, fedora hat.
Yeah, I've seen those. Interesting.
I love Almas in a legitimate match, but didn't like that he took a clean loss, Stike says. I didn't like that he didn't take a clean loss. I thought also we might see the debut of Zelina Vega's moonsault on the outside, Hurricanrana. Sorry, not moonsault. Her Hurricanrana where she sends the guy into the steps. AJ's the perfect guy to sell that. And I thought it was going to, but it didn't. Styles and Almas could have easily been a pay-per-view headline. Why book this as the first match on SmackDown Live, Cashmere says? Because nobody, Cashmere, on the main roster of the Fruity Pebbles variety, fan-wise, knows who Cien Almas is. No fucking clue. They're like, oh, here's a guy. We don't know who he is. Yep, he's got a loudmouth little girl manager. They don't know who she is. So they had to showcase him, and if you put him against a No Way Jose or Mojo Rawley type of level opponent, people are going to fast forward. You put him against AJ, everybody's going to take notice. And he was taking it to AJ, not even like 3/4 of the match, Irish, like 7/8. Maybe 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. It was a lot.
Well, the thing about AJ is, and it's the reason for his longevity in the business. The reason why he's been an A-lister for the last 10 years is because his ability to tell a story. He's a solid storyteller, and he sells very well. And I concur with your assessment that by putting it at the beginning with AJ Styles highlights Cien Almas and puts him in front of people that may have just fast forwarded.
And it was a 20-minute match, 2 commercial breaks. It was not something that went quick. Like, it was a slow burn. Almas got to do his rope, like, taunt. And
I saw that, yeah.
And Zelina Vega added to it. She did something underneath him while she was on the outside that looked pretty cool. I don't know if it was just the camera angle lined up or if that was planned spot, but that looked good. On the board, Almas will get the top spot. Give it time, Leo says. Anybody notice how quick Almas tapped out? I did, Kashmir. I don't mind that he tapped out so quick because, and Irish, I don't know how many times you've seen this. After he tapped out, and as he's exiting the ring, of course, AJ's doing his celebration, the camera stayed on him or cut back and forth a little bit. He was limping. He was only in the calf crusher for maybe 10 seconds. But he was limping as he walked up the ramp as if in pain. So many people don't sell that. Oh, they just their shoulder ran out, so they tapped, but they're not selling the arm as they leave the ring. He was selling it. He's a consummate professional, even after the match ended. And if this is what they can do in one match, chemistry-wise, I'm really excited for more. Alex Carter, off topic, says he wants Nakamura and Joey Ryan to have a dick battle. Book it, Vince. No.
Yeah, very nice, classy.
Right? Now, Daniel Price is going to earn this because, do I even have that sound effect? Damn it. I don't think I have it. Oh, I do.
He's gotta puke!
Hopefully you don't puke when you hear this, Irish. Even with as good as Almas is, Vince would still probably re-sign a piece of shit like Del Rio and main event him quicker than Cien. That's from Daniel Price, Irish.
I truly hope that that's not true. I mean, it seems to me like they're trying to build Cien Almas into being what they wanted Del Rio to be. Del Rio never ended up being what they wanted him to be. They tried, and he kind of tried, but he's an abusive piece of shit. And I honestly, the way that they've taken Page's side, I don't think they'll ever sign him again.
Yeah, they messed up. The other thing here is the boards agree with me. Imagine that. See, that's why I'm the only one here. Teddy says it still reeled me, damn it. Please listen to my voice. Alex Carter says, take it from the wise old Jew. I can't find that sound effect. Rob messed me all up. So I don't even see it. I don't even see Angry Elf. He took all the good ones away. They took our jobbers. He took my sound effects. Let's see what else is on here. And yeah, good point, Adam. Kashmir says, Exactamundo. Leo says, Almas and AJ at SummerSlam will be gold. I don't think that's happening. Anaconda Vice, I only read part of your thing for a reason. AJ work on the leg just like he did to Rusev at Extreme Rules. That was great, and that's what worked here. This won't be the last time we see these two, perhaps even next week. A rematch occurs and Joe cheats to give Almas a win over AJ, putting him over even more. It builds up gradually. He'd just drop him on Raw. Bring back Alberto. He gets good cocaine. That's from Teddy. That's catching us up on the board. Here's my second part of this topic before we go to the awards, Irish. I think next week Paige is going to announce that Joe is either going to be the number one contender to AJ or is going to be put in a match to be the number one contender for AJ. And I think that this wasn't a pop test. Rob gave me the wording earlier. This wasn't a pop test for Almas. This was a showcase. This was to put him out there for those Fruity Pebbles, the people not familiar with him, to see him. This was a showcase. And it has me really excited because he's going to get booked somewhere. AJ's got a date with Samoan that's not Roman. That's what Daniel Price says. AJ is being booked to bury guys. Why isn't that being talked about? But if it was Cena or Orton beating Stan, everyone would be up in arms crying. That's from Berto. You know what, Berto? That's a fucking great point. I think, and I'm gonna think about this for a second. Cena's gotten his ass kicked a lot, Irish, and then at the end of the match, done a move or two and won. Roman's done the same thing, and we have said that they're burying guys. I've never really said that about Roman. I just say he's getting an undeserved push, but I have been guilty of saying that about Cena. So let's see, Berto. Why is it different? I think it's the perception of the person. I think it's the way Roman and Cena were booked to kill so many people's pushes that we put them in a disparaging light. And AJ makes he gets the Ric Flair nod and he can make a 5-star match with a broomstick. He gets it. There's probably nobody else that you could truly say that about. Maybe you could argue some other people in there.
Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, I think you could argue some other people up there. But AJ would be the top of my list behind Flair of a 5-star match with a broomstick of who could do it.
Honestly, and this is me wishing. I'm hoping that, yes, I think that they're going to do a Daniel Bryan Miz push, but I hope that gives us a couple really good balls to the wall Daniel Bryan AJ Styles matches.
I think that's where the hiatus of the Miz feud will happen, or even Joe will get involved. We'll do 4-way. Who the fuck knows? Over on Twitch, IA Strikeforce, I think he nailed it on the head with this. Both men came out looking good. You can't ask for much more. The end of the day, the pin didn't matter. Yes, he tapped out quick, but you made a new guy look like a contender to the champion. That's how you make a new guy look impressive to casual fans, IA Strikeforce says.
Yeah.
If you remember, before Hardy held any title, he got a ladder match against Taker for the undisputed title. And he had his fingertips on it, and the crowd went shit nuts, and Undertaker raised his hand at the end, even though he didn't win.
Well, because Taker went in the ring like 4 times and beat the crap out of him. And
he kept standing up.
And like every time Taker would turn around, Jeff Hardy would be right back up, and Taker would look at him like, I can't believe this kid is still doing it. And the crowd was going bananas.
And that was the start. I mentioned this last night. That was the start of booking Jeff Hardy more like Shawn Michaels, where it took, and I mean this not in their character, I mean they're the little guy that had to take more than one finisher to put down. They always kicked out after one.
Making them tougher.
Right. Or making them just their endurance or something. I don't know.
Well, I mean, they had to because of the way that Vince loves his giants. All his. I mean, you look at it, almost every single one of his champions from since he took over to the mid 2000s. I think one of them was under 6 feet tall.
Now, Big Show is huge, but at a time you had Taker, you had Kane, you had Nash, you had all these 6'9" to 6'11" guys. It made everybody look big. Everybody was the same size, so now you got nothing because they all look that way. NXT's pretty small except for Lars. Lars looks like a fucking monster right now. AJ versus Almas was the match you put on a pedestal, Justin says. Yes, and they didn't give us too much. They gave us enough to want more. Over back on YouTube, they could... Wow, there's all sorts of shit going on here. This is not like when Punk beat Kane, Ziggler, Miz, Jericho, guys who had no business being champ back in his title run. AJ is beating Owen, Zayn, Knock, and Rusev, guys that need a push. I don't think... I disagree on Owen's side. Zayn, Knock, and Rusev, they need pushes, but I also think they need to be believable as the champ. And the storylines they put them in were not ones that were going to vault them to the title. It's a great point again, Berto, but that's where I stand on it.
I'm going to disagree with you on this.
Why?
Honestly, AJ is getting to the point where he's getting stale. And my God. I love his no, not his matches. His match quality is great. His work rate is fantastic.
You're absolutely killing me.
What I'm saying by this,
please.
what I'm saying by this is, I'm tired of seeing him as champion. It's getting old.
Wow.
I mean, like, think about like this, okay?
Would you rather not see him as champion, meaning like he doesn't show up?
I'm getting there.
Okay.
You've got two champions right now. You've got the Universal Champion Brock Lesnar, who's never even on TV, and you have the
board is ready to hate fuck you, by the way.
Oh well, good for them. Good for
for
them.
These comments.
I hope they enjoy that. I have to give you something to argue against, okay?
I got plenty to read on the board. You just antagonize them with your thoughts here.
Look.
You
like.
Want me to let you finish this?
Yes,
okay.
I would love for you to let me finish.
Here's a shovel. Keep going.
End of the day, I think AJ is a great worker and he does great stuff, but I want to see something different.
You think?
I do. I believe
he is. There's no you think. He is.
Anyway, he is a great. You're right. He is a great worker and he does great show. But it's boring that there's never any title changes. There haven't been any major title changes since before WrestleMania. When was the last title change?
Nakamura U.S. title.
No. I'm talking about the two big belts.
The two big belts. One of them hasn't even been fucking defended.
That's my point.
So because one is absent, AJ has to lose the title to get a title change.
Yes, someone has to go.
That is the goddamn dumbest argument I've ever
heard.
Brock
Lesnar should have lost the title months ago.
AJ put on a great match with boring Brock Lesnar. That's from Mika Meach. Yes, that's how great he is. AJ puts on good matches that aren't the same old shit or just 5% effort, raising the bar for those other four. That's what Leo says. Maybe that's the difference in the squash, to answer Berto, is because he's putting on great effort, not just getting booked that way. AJ's different because he kind of broke the status quo of what a WWE superstar is today. He wasn't a corporate-built wrestler like Roman and Cena. So that's what Alex Carter is saying, what the difference is there. Owen, Zayn, and Knock all have wins against AJ in varying situations. Leo wants to point out they just didn't get the title. Also, like Alex said, AJ isn't 6'8" and still champ. It's easy to get behind him when he reeks of underdog like that. His size does give him the underdog status.
Rusev should be champion.
And Teddy says, a question for Adam, Irish, and everyone in the chat. Who do you think was better in their prime, AJ or Shawn?
Ooh.
They're both on my Mount Rushmore. Don't make me pick, Teddy.
I'm gonna have to go Shawn, man. I really am.
You really want me to come across the table, man?
I'll put you through it.
Yeah, Zayn and Rusev need a push. Knock and Owens are great heels, Mika Meach says. I agree Rusev needed the push. I think we didn't talk about this yet before I get back to the board's comments. I think that you could have booked your way better at saving face for Rusev by solidifying not an accidental move by Aiden that cost Rusev the title on Sunday, but a blatant move by Aiden. If you really want to, if you say that AJ pinning him is what squashed him, what beat him, then that's how you get around it. You have Aiden do a full heel turn. And me and Rob have been talking about this a lot. Keep it fucking simple. Do you know how many great feuds have started with, you cost me a title shot, you screwed me over in my title match? That's how the feud starts.
Mega powers.
These two people have never worked together in their life, but all of a sudden they worked together once, and you cost me a title shot. And now we're going to build this to a hate feud. Like that level of boil. This is going to be intense. That's where you get to. You started off simple. If Aiden bails Rusev out last night, nobody can say what Berto says at all, that they squashed him or that he took his momentum away. No, you made Rusev in a different move, and AJ was just the prop. It was really all about Rusev and Aiden in that sense. If that's what happens, if a screw job happens and a team breaks up, it's all about them, and that means more than the title. Maybe that's why that didn't happen. I don't know. Let's see what else is on the board. Fuck you, Irish. That's from Alex.
Oh, love you too, Alex.
Let's see. He needs to either be a heel champ or chasing the belt as a face. Double G Gaming says, yeah, okay, I finally agree with you completely, Berto. He is kind of stuck in the tweener stage there. He's not one or the other.
You paused when you started the ST like you wanted to say stale.
No.
You wanted to.
No.
Come to the dark
side.
No,
you're the stale. You're the one who said it was
Come to the dark side, Adam.
Mika Meach agrees. I agree. AJ needs to be healed to keep it interesting. Form the club. Club is there. Why not use him and go full heel? When he was using the club against Cena, that was some funny shit, and the club was getting some TV time that they have not been given. I was ready for Knock to beat AJ, Kevin said. He should have beat him early in the feud, and AJ should have won it back and in the finish.
Knox should have won at WrestleMania.
Right, and AJ should have won it back this past, whatever, Extreme Rules or something like that to move on to SummerSlam back with the
He
title.
probably should have won at Money in the Bank, and then they'd be done
There
with
you
the
go.
feud.
Money in the Bank. I was ready. Let's see. Thank you, Irish. It's not Styles himself or the body of work. It's the booking. I honestly think Vince is having him as champ for that long as some kind of reverse psychology mindfuck to make us bored of him, Daniel Price says.
You know what? I actually agree with that. That's actually a well thought out statement.
You think, that's some conspiracy shit. I'm not disagreeing with what you both just said, are agreeing to here. That is some really weird, like, fucking Michael Douglas the Game shit.
Be the Rock, damn it!
It'd be too hard to turn him heel now. That's what Leo says. Beat up a baby face, maybe to keep AJ interesting. Mika Meach says, yeah, just have him destroy that. Well, and the thing against him in the feud with Rusev kind of toes the line too, and maybe his full face with Aiden going heel on him. I don't know. Let's see. Double G Gaming says, Sean, he was created. He's better as of now because he had a chance to expand his character, unlike AJ, who gets held back because he's a star from the outside companies. Everybody keeps saying AJ's being held back. He's at day 252 as the champion. I don't know, Berto. By that logic, then the Universal title should be stellar with how they roided up. Oh, wow. By how that roided up bag of dicks is hardly ever on TV with it. Vince wants the red belt to be the top one, not the black one. That's what Daniel Price says. Also, Lana went from Russian back to American, back to Russian in her accent while talking to Aiden tonight. Actually, Alex, I went back and listened to it. She talked Irish in perfect English, except when she said the name Rusev. It's like when you hear someone speak a different language and they go, Adam Bomb, you can understand the names. She spoke in perfect English and then went Rusev. She had to say Rusev in her fake Russian accent, but said everything else fine.
I like using the digital tellers at the grocery store where it says, Gracias por comprar in Harris Teeter.
Yeah, right? Let's see. Where's Medina? And kind of Ice says, catch up and show up on time. AJ is awesome on old TNA. That's what Kevin says. Yeah, that's where.
AJ is a great wrestler.
Yeah,
I'm not
no
denying
question
that. I'm not. There's.
I know what your argument is.
In no way, shape, or form
It
have I
still
ever
upsets
said that AJ Styles was a bad wrestler, because he is not. That is just flat out not true. What I said was that I'm tired of seeing him as champion. That's what I said.
Double G Gaming, I agree that AJ is great, and I know why nobody says he's burying people. I just wanted to call fans out on their hypocrisy. Great arguments, though. Hey, Berto, I started my sentence off that you're absolutely right to compare those. I was just trying to cite the difference, and maybe it's just because I like AJ more. It could be just simply, again, because I say the negative light that I have in my brain attached to Cena and Roman. I don't have that negative light attached to AJ, and I think that might be so simple as the difference.
Because like it's exactly like you said, it doesn't feel like AJ's being forced down our throats.
No.
Because he's such a great worker and a great storyteller that you actually enjoy watching work. I do not enjoy watching Roman Reigns wrestle. Every now and then I see a wrestling match where Roman Reigns is on there, and I'm like, oh, Roman did pretty good. But my bar for Roman is so low, it doesn't take much for him to raise above it. But AJ, like, I would say 98% of the matches I see, I'm like, AJ did awesome. And my bar for him is pretty high.
Yeah, Stike's right. AJ Jinder should have been the one to drop the title to Shinsuke. Thank you, Irish. Daniel Price says, Trollberg, he's returned. Let's see what else. AJ's not being held back, you crazy marks, is what Trollberg says. The character's being held back, not his run. He's not Leo. Let's see what else. That's fucked up, Adam. Where the hell is Kevin? We need someone with sensibilities. Trollberg, I'm not reading anything you said now that you talked about Kevin.
Kevin, unfortunately, will not be with us any longer. He has been fed to the pigs, and he will be unavailable for the foreseeable future.
Smackdown presents
Good, bad, and glorious.
Go ahead. Make my day.
So Irish didn't see this tonight, so he's not going to be able to really contribute to the awards. So, Board, you're going to have to help me with yours. Good, bad, glorious, creative fail, and LOL. Again, I thought this show was pretty good tonight, so it's going to be hard for me to shit on some of this stuff. But, Board, get yours ready. We're going to start with good. My good is Samoa Joe. The reason I say Samoa Joe, it's not because he beat Ty and he made him tap out. It's for the impending, upcoming, however you want to say it, feud with AJ. Paige made an announcement that next week they're going to have a big announcement of AJ and the title picture for SummerSlam. And I think either she's going to just announce Joe as the number one contender or she's going to put him in a match for him to win to be the number one contender. I'm not sure which, but I do believe that if Daniel Bryan and Miz are going this way and Jeff, Randy, and Knock are all in their love triangle, who's left? Rusev appears to be going with Aiden, so it has to be Joe. You know, and maybe they finally booked this shit right. And maybe this feud for AJ has been built up to finally make Joe look strong and end it. I don't know. That's my guess.
That's possible.
It sounds a lot better than a lot of the other shit that's been got.
I would actually like that because I'm tired of Joe getting squashed for Roman Reigns and other bullshit.
And it's 252 days now, so add another 30. It's going to be 280 days. Hit title reign, and Joe will be the guy to end it. That's a good push if that's the way you do it.
Yeah.
My good is the funeral for Team Hell No. That's from Alex. Mika Meach says good. Almas being showcased. Hell yeah. Kofi versus Eric Young. We didn't talk about that, but that was a very good match. That's the good for Stike. It was a good match. I like Eric Young a lot. I really do.
Kofi's also like people don't give him the credit of being a good worker. I mean, like, yeah, he's had botches. He definitely has. But I mean, the guy puts the effort out there. And he tried, and like he's definitely one of the workers, and he's always the veteran presence on the New Day, and there's a reason why, because they know that he'll put the effort to help them out if they need to.
Early LOL on the board. Trollberg asking Teddy if he smokes weed. His name is Teddy Two Stone Heart Trollberg. Good. Justin says AJ versus Almas. Good. Hell No funeral was great for Kevin in Texas. No Kevin. He's talking about the shit in the middle. That Kevin. No Kevin is good for Teddy. Let's see. Daniel Price predicts she's going to outright announce Joe as the number one contender, but Cien will come out and Vega will make a strong case saying she almost beat AJ, and maybe they'll make that a match. That's all from Daniel Price. Makes AJ look weak then, though, because he got manhandled by Roman. Adam Anaconda Vice says, manhandled by Roman? I thought he was... No. I thought
it was pretty much beat him up in both parts.
Yeah. Leo says good. Preview of the new jobber team, The Perfect Truth. Kofi versus Young was good for Vice. Let's see. R-Truth and Dillinger for champs. Leo says nope. And and yes, I know you were mocking Trollberg. Don't give me that shit. Come on.
Your name's Trollberg, for Christ's sakes. You don't think we know what we're getting?
Right.
You disrespectful, stupid idiot.
Yeah. Low sound effect, but it still works.
You're welcome.
On to the bad. The bad for me. It was bad because I had to watch it. In hindsight, now that I'm forgetting the images, I love how vicious Randy was with the ear spot pulling on the gauge of Jeff Hardy.
You're gonna remember that all week.
I love it now. But it was bad in how gruesome it looked. Like, it looked bad. It looked like Mick Foley like shit. I don't know. I'm trying. I can't.
Speaking of, now that I think about it, wasn't that Undertaker Jeff Hardy match? Wasn't that a thumbtack match?
The Undertaker? No, it was a ladder match.
Ladder match. But were there thumbtacks out there?
No, you're thinking of Randy and Mankind at Mania, and Randy took the tacks.
Yes. Hey, maybe we can get a Jeff Hardy Randy Orton thumbtack match.
Okay. Bad. Alex says Carmella. That was almost my bad. She's fucking horrid. She just wanted to talk tonight about how she beat Asuka twice and how she beat Charlotte twice and how she needs a celebration for every fucking win she gets. And thank God for Becky Lynch. I don't know why they're waiting till next week to announce that she's the number one contender. but she now has to fight Carmella next week. If she wins, she's the number 1 contender.
So wait, she has to fight Carmella to fight Carmella again?
Yeah, Paige made that shit up.
That's dumb.
Right? Bad. What happens to Asuka now? Kevin says. I don't know. I don't want to tempt fate, but how could they really fucking get worse than this? Orton pulled the gauge of Hardy. That's bad for Justin. Same for Daniel Price. I really hope Jeff washed his gauge holes out first. Those things can get grungy. Bad. Carmella, please make it stop. I'll take Charlotte over that nonsense. And let's see. Bad. Carmella. Just Carmella for Leo. Hopefully Becky beats her next week, then at SummerSlam, and ends this nightmare. That is from Stike. On to our Glorious Award. Trollberg says, Teddy, you are a fail. You have to beat the champ to face the champ to have a shot at the champ. That's from Berto. That's a whole lot of nothing. Medine, you can just hang on the line because you're way the fuck early, so just wait.
Medina's early.
Yeah, that's never happened. Well, not where men are concerned. Let's go on to Glorious. My Glorious. Fuck yeah, I got to see AJ Styles fight Andrade Cien Almas tonight. And I'm going to go to bed happy. I'm going to go to bed happy because that match in the first 27 minutes of SmackDown tonight washed the taste of 3 hours of shit that I sat through last night right the fuck out of my mouth. And I enjoyed wrestling again. So it's good that Tuesday is better because if Tuesday sucked, I have like 5 days till Monday comes back around that I'm like, man, this is such shit product wrestling. But because Monday sucks, I don't even get 24 hours to be like, it's wrestling sucks, WWE sucks. Because then here comes SmackDown, and SmackDown's good.
Well, it's just like this show. This show far superior to Roddy Rob show.
Oh well, yeah.
Yeah, SmackDown's far superior to Raw.
Well, I mean, it's catching up now. Because guess what, Irish? There's no such thing as Roddy Rob's show. It's all mine, baby.
Ah.
I mean, there's a reason the educated one finally got all the shows. You know, he says he wants to sit back and enjoy it and relax and chill, but that ain't true. Juan is back. Glorious for Daniel Price. Nakamura saying, I'll make the sad clown smile. God bless America. That was fucking good. Let's see. Bang Bus is joining us late. Knock promo was so good. Kevin says, Glorious AJ versus a motherfucking CN. That's from Anaconda Vice. Evil Randy's Glorious for Kevin. Glorious for Alex. Randy fingering Jeff's gauge hole. Wow. And Teddy and Trollberg are getting into a fight. And Rawsome Jew has joined us. Glorious on Twitch. Justin says Eric Young. Eric Young was good. He was. I wish they were doing a little more. I hope this New Day thing doesn't go too long, or they do a lot of singles matches with these guys and really try to showcase
If they
them.
do some singles matches with Sanity, those could be really interesting.
Right?
Because I mean, like, when was the last time you saw Big E have a really good singles match? It's been a minute.
He had one.
See,
shit.
You have to think about it.
He had one on the road in the Gauntlet. He lost it, but the opening match in the Gauntlet to decide the number one contender.
Right, and how long ago was that?
It was right before Extreme Rules that Rusev won.
Oh, that's
became
right.
the
Yeah,
number one
good point.
contender.
Yeah.
So this is for you.
All right, that's fair.
Glorious Almas for Stike Leather.
I'll
Team
accept
Hell No
that.
Memorials. Glorious for Leo. And let's move on to the final two. It's Creative Fail and LOL. My Creative Fail, fuck it. I put Becky on the delay of the announcement. Have tonight, Paige should have just shoved it in Carmella's face and said, look, you don't like Becky? Guess what? She's your new number one contender that you face at SummerSlam. Have a nice day, kind of Mick Foley style.
Well, I think the biggest criticism of the WWE is that they tend to the shows seem like stalling tactics to get to the pay-per-views, and this further proves that this is a stalling tactic to build to a pay-per-view. This is not a way to dissolve that argument. This is just re-emphasizing that.
On the board, let's see if anyone else is caught up. No creative fails yet because Serve and Volley is still going on between Teddy and Trollberg. They're having a little troll fight. Creative fail. Paige's general manager. She's just god-awful, Leo says. I don't know if I would say god-awful.
I'll wait for Bang Bus to defend her.
She's there's something wrong. She's missing something. She's missing that it factor that stands her out. Creative fail. Justin says the whole women's division clusterfuck. It's true. What are they doing there?
They need Charlotte back. Like there's a clear void.
Well, and many rumor that Charlotte's going to go back to Raw, and the ending feud for Sasha and Bayley is loser leaves Raw, and so Charlotte's going to be the exchange there. So that's why she doesn't have it. Iconic duo were not on the show tonight. That's a creative fail for Mika Meach. Creative fail. Whatever the fuck made Vince decide to have Carmella as champion. That's for Daniel Price.
Probably a
Stike
blowjob.
says creative fail. Carmella. She was great in NXT with Bayley, but is trash on the main roster. Ellsworth would be a better GM for Leo. He says Asuka wandered away to rethink her life. Kevin says Noah hates Adam. He's in love with Rob. That's what Rossum Jews said is why is the creative fail for him. And let's see. Irish hand job at least is what Daniel Price says.
No, I mean I would think they would go third base. I would think it would have to be third base.
Final award, LOL.
Be Sable, damn it!
Creative fail putting Killian Dane in a shirt. Alex says no. You have to put him in a shirt. Have you seen that back hair? I'd rather look at Jinder's back knee than all that back hair.
Is it A-Train level back hair?
Oh, yeah. I think it might be worse than A-Train.
George the Animal Steel level?
Robin
Williams level.
As dense as George the Animal Steel, longer.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah, like we might be able to put little braids there. Charlotte's not going to Raw until after she wins the Rumble, Stike says. Wow. That's going to be a while. And Anaconda Vice says, I wish she got released over Big Cass. Yeah, I wish Carmella a lot of things. Nicholas is scary. That's what Leo says. And
I'd have sex with her.
My LOL, R-Truth and the Bluetooth gag. I thought it was really funny. He's sitting there, and Ty Dillinger's talking to him, and he's kind of not quite facing him, Irish, and he's going, what? I can't hear you. Speak up. And Ty thinks that he's giving him like a motivational speech, and Ty goes, you're right, I'm going to go and get out there. And then, R-Truth turns to the camera and goes, all right, Mom, I love you, and like hits his ear Bluetooth to like turn it off.
Yeah, R-Truth is basically a comic character. Like he's been garbage for years.
He's old. He's from Charlotte. I've seen him all the time here. He's a good dude. But
I have chugged beers with R-Truth.
Yeah.
Back when he was K-Quick.
Yeah, Mr. Killings. R-Truth using the Bluetooth headset. That's LOL for Alex Carter. Rob's angry little elf Corbin is joining us. He says, hey guys, knowing that Hogan's going to be doing damage control by coming out with 3 guys hurling pancakes is an LOL for Daniel Price. Because he said the racist comments, so they're going to bring him out with New Day.
Wow.
That's what he's suggesting. People getting irked at AJ winning clean over Almas tonight. That's LOL for Leo. Corey Graves tonight, he was pretty funny. I can't remember it right now, but he says he did say something tonight that made me laugh. LOL, Zelina doing Almas Tranquilo pose. That's from Stike. Is that what she did when Almas was hanging in the rope? She did the Tranquilo pose underneath?
That's what the picture looked like.
Okay. I couldn't tell, and I didn't go back.
I pulled up some pictures, and that's what I saw.
LOL, Justin says the Bluetooth with R-Truth. Anyway, with that segue, I want to quickly do some plugs, and then we're going to play our little trivia game. So quickly.
Play Medine, is he gay or not?
No.
Reviews on iTunes.
iTunes, real quick. Don't forget also that the New Day said that sanity was unsanitary. They said more like unsanitary. I thought that was funny. And then they wanted to be the Birds of Prey from It's Always Sunny. Let's talk about this big announcement we made last night on Raw. We have a sponsorship deal. We are now, I guess more like a partnership. But if you go to collarandelbow.com, collarandelbowbrand.com, and take a look at the wrestling t-shirts, when you check out, you can save 10%. That's a good discount, whether you're Jewish or not like me. Use the discount code marked out, MARKEDOUT, when you check out, and you'll save 10% on your order, and you'll help promote us and sponsor us. Collar and Elbow, in case you don't know, Irish, is Al Snow's clothing line. And there's a lot of cool stuff, and we're going to be featuring some marked out gear on there coming soon. And Brian helped set this up for us. So definitely, if you want to get out there and get some good swag and support us, Marked Out is your discount code. Collarandelbowbrand.com is where to go.
Well, since we now have a sponsor, I believe that we should get a mannequin head.
We used to have something like that. I don't know what the fuck happened to it.
Oh, man.
These things in the
I really wanted you to get me a head.
Oh, wow. Can you spell that? Since I can't spell, Adam says, Juan, you want me to put that on there? The website, I'll put it on there for the board. Our code is Marked Out, and the way it is collar, COLLARAND, and that's elbow, ELBOW, brand, BRAND.com. Go to it.
You know, and going through videos and stuff, I gotta say, my highlight for the evening is Mandy Rose's ass, because she doesn't have any good wrestling ass. She's okay at best, but her butt is the bomb. There will be no survivors.
I don't know if you've ever heard that one before.
What was that?
You've never heard this before?
The booty dough.
That's actually for
that
Alexa
booty dough.
Bliss. You know, that's a coin term from the old Marked Out days, back before I was the Iron Man and running all this shit. Speaking of running all this shit, Medine, it is time for the most must-play trivia segment in MOWP history.
Maniac Medine, bring us home.
It is time for This Day in Wrestling History.
This day in wrestling history.
Take it away, Medine.
All right, so first, as far as coming on early, as you said earlier, it's the only reason you got 2 kids right now, Adam. That's all you know how to do. And you, Iris, as far as I'm
you don't need to go all night if you do it right.
You asked if Adam wanted head. And then you went with Mandy Rose, so I'm not sure if you're going pansexual on me or what.
It was an Al Snow joke.
I would definitely go pansexual. I'd fuck a pan.
All right, fellas. Let's get to business here. This day in wrestling history, who beat who? The Big Show or Mark Henry?
Ooh.
Who beat who? I think that this is the night that Mark Henry won the title over the Big Show. So I am going to go with Mark Henry.
I'm going to cheat but not cheat.
What?
Yes, you heard me.
You can't look it up.
I'm not looking it up. I'm looking at the calendar to figure out what year it might have been.
Oh, you jackass. Juan says Mark Henry. Alex says Mark Henry. Vice says Mark Henry. I say Mark Henry. Justin says Mark Henry.
I'm going to say Big Show, just to be different.
Irish, both Teddy and the one in the studio say Big Show. Big Show for Leo. Big Show for Kevin. That's the match where the ring exploded, Daniel Price says. Big Show for Stike. What is it?
That might have been the ring explosion.
It was. What is it, Mr. Medine?
The answer is Mark Henry.
Mark Henry. That is a big old for me, Juan, Alex, Vice. We get it all. So does Berto. This is for you, Irish. And your fellows, Teddy, Kevin, Leo.
Thank you for the support, sir.
The Stoner Club all got wrong with you, and the same with Stike. Mika Meach thought you were trying to screw us. He wrote neither. I think he's talking about what happened after. Alpha Club versus Bullet Club on the cruise ship. That's what Alex wants to talk about. We talked about that last night, but I'll mention it again in a second, Alex. Go ahead with the next question, Medine.
Number 2. How long did it take? Closest without going over.
All right, Irish, you go first.
I'm not going first. I went last week.
No, that's how it works. You got to go first.
I'm not going first.
You refuse?
I will go. I will go 3 minutes and 22 seconds.
3:22 for Mr. Irish. 4:20 for Teddy. Who saw that coming? 9 minutes for Mika Meach. I'm gonna go 4:21. Fuck you, Teddy. 13:30 for Alex. 7:11.
13:30.
Yeah.
For Big Show and Mark Henry.
7:11 for Anaconda Vice. 7 for Kevin. 7 million for Juan. However long a tour of the Hall of Pain takes is what Daniel Price is guessing.
2 minutes.
And 9:33 for Leo. 4:23 for Trollberg to be a dick. He should have gone 4:22. What's the answer, Medine?
The answer is 5 minutes and 55 seconds.
God damn it. Technically, that means Trollberg won as the closest without going over by fucking me over by adding 2 seconds to my time.
Who thinks?
Otherwise, I would have gotten it right. Stikelether had 11:25, so this is for everybody.
Who honestly thinks that there's going to be a big man match that lasts more than 10 minutes? Really?
8:56 for Justin over there. At least he had Mark Henry right. Damn you, Trollberg. That's for you. What's next, Medine?
Trollberg.
I have a bonus how question. We have how many were in attendance that day or that evening, rather.
Do we get a clue as to where it was located?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you a range. I'll give you between 5 and 20,000.
5,000 or 5?
5,000 and 20,000.
Okay.
Wait a second, Trollberg. He's saying the one time that Teddy could have won that and he jacked it away from. No, the one time that I could have taken it away from Teddy and you stole it from me, you jackass.
Accurate.
Teddy says 420 people.
I'm going to go 18,329 people.
Okay. Juan says 20,000. Mika Meach says 12,000. Anaconda Vice says 19,450 for Justin. I am going to say 18,000 flat, 7,000 for Kevin from Texas, 13,000 for Alex, 15,750 for Stike. Who wins, Medine? 12,300 Leo. What is it, Medine?
The answer is 14,815. I believe it was Stikelether who guessed 14,000.
No, it was Anaconda Vice.
Anaconda Vice.
Stike was just over with 15,750.
Nicely done, Anaconda. I don't want none.
Yeah, we don't want none. They don't want. What else, Medine?
All right, how many matches? 5, 6, 7, or 8?
5. Double G Gaming says there was 20K in attendance, but only one person was watching it, and that was Kevin Dunn. What was your question, Medine? Sorry.
5, 6, 7, or 8 matches.
How many matches? 5, 6, 7, or 8?
Schlemiel, Schlemazel.
I'm going to go 6.
Incorporated 6. I'm gonna go fuck it. I'm going the high side. I'm going 8. I'm going to full 8. Justin says 7, Juan 6, Teddy 7, Vice 6, Kevin 7, Mika Meach 7, Leo, Alex also 7. What the fuck is the answer, Medine?
The fucking answer is lucky number 7.
Hey. Damn it.
That's
for Teddy, that's for Kevin, that's for Mika Meach, that's for Leo, that's for Alex.
I haven't gotten any of these.
Vice, Juan, Stike, me, you. We all got it wrong. Oh, Justin also had 7, so they all got it right.
Wow, Ava Longoria is very pregnant.
Yeah. What else?
All right.
Who ate Ava Longoria?
2 more. Where did this take place? Indianapolis, Milwaukee, or neither?
Indianapolis, Milwaukee.
It's pronounced Milwaukee.
Wait, Leo says 6 matches with a 5-minute Big Show versus Henry match. Come on now.
I thought there'd be a lot of talking.
Right. I guess there was a lot of promos. There must have been a really horrible segment. What city? I'm going to go with Juan. He says neither. Justin says Indy. Teddy says Ireland, Dublin. Alex Carter says Indy.
First of all, Teddy, if it's anywhere, be Cork.
Now, what do you say over there, Mr. Irish?
Let's go. I'm going to go with Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Neither for Anaconda Vice. Milwaukee for Mika Meach. What you got, Medine?
The answer is neither.
Neither. That's for me. That's for Vice. That's for Juan.
Medine, you're getting predictable in your old age.
That is for Kevin. So.
I gotta. Irish, I gotta throw some softballs, as Adam says in there every now and then.
Leo, I didn't ignore you on your comment. I thought it was worth. I read it. Neither for Stike, neither for Leo, neither for Kevin, neither for me, neither for Vice. We all win. Is that it?
No, one more. The last one, which will answer the last 2. True or false? This event was the Money in the Bank of 2012.
True or false? This is the Money in the Bank. I think that you're fucking with me.
False.
Because this is when the briefcase was cashed in. This was not during the actual Money in the Bank event. So I'm going to say false. And so is Irish. False for Teddy. Teddy says, Medine, when are we going to go to the Guinness factory? False for Mika Meach. False for Teddy.
Teddy, I've been to the Guinness factory. I've got my certification, Bo.
False for Justin. Doesn't appear. False for Alex. The others are catching up. False for Vice. False for Leo. Everybody's saying false. You're trying to screw us because the briefcase was involved this night, but it was not Money in the Bank. False for Stike. Kevin says true to be against the grain. What's the answer, Medine?
The answer is false. This was Money in the Bank of 2011, and it took place in Chicago, Illinois.
Oh.
This was when Punk beat Cena.
Later on that night.
Indeed, later on in the evening.
All right, Juan says true. Don't they have a fish on a bike there? Vice says, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Big Show won the title when Brian cashed in, is what he said. Oh, Big Show won the title.
And that night, the winner at the end of the night was CM Punk.
Right.
Celebrating with the fans and shit.
Right.
All right.
Anyway.
Real quick.
Real
quick, happy birthdays this week to Lashley, Jesse the Body Ventura, Heath Slater, Mojo, Al Snow, Robert Gibson, Jerry Barash, and Bob Orton Sr. Happy anniversary today, a sad one. Bruiser Brody was tragically murdered by the invader, Jose Gonzalez, in Bayamon, Puerto Rico, 30 years ago today. And happy trails to Masa Saito, who died yesterday at the age of 76 years old.
You're
happy
welcome.
By the way, it's Jeremy Borash. You said Barash. That just sounded weird.
I was just trying to read it fast.
Yeah. Okay. And wow, Bobby Lashley's birthday just happened. That's cool.
Yesterday. If you want to find out how old they are, Google it your damn selves.
All right. We'll talk to you later. What do we get for the trivia?
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
All right.
Bruiser Brody.
Goodbye, Medine.
I love me some Bruiser Brody stories.
We'll see you later. Yeah.
That should happen.
Yeah, we had Medine call him. It's time for a little bit of final thoughts there. He also said it was Al Snow's birthday, which I think is funny because we got our partnership with Collar and Elbow and Al Snow, and apparently, you're all about the head over there.
Next time I come on, I'm going to just wear a Job Squad shirt.
Berto says, you stupid guys are thinking of TLC 2001 in December. It's called This Day, not 5 months ahead of today. That's when the briefcase was cashed in. From that night, fuck Berto, I don't know. So what are we confusing? The whole fucking thing? Which again, if we are, I'll as Rob would say, eat crow. Are we confusing when the ring got caved in and that's when Daniel Bryan cashed in on Big Show and all that? Or are we confusing just every fucking point possible that's revolving around this? I don't know. Let me know. Honestly, 3 out of 10, he was clearly psychologically reflecting his own shortcomings. That's what Leo's saying. And that was the saddest troll ever. 4 out of 10, no creative, no style. Who are they talking about? Trollberg? I don't know. Final thoughts. Tonight got me excited for SummerSlam. Yesterday did not. Great podcast, great SmackDown. What else is new for Tuesdays? That's what Vice says. Kevin says, definitely Kevin. Okay. Berto says everything. And he was reflecting his own mental illness on us. That's not trolling. That's just sad. I don't know what you mean. Final thoughts with the exception of Carmella. This was a good show from Stike. Henry vs. Show at Money in the Bank was one match. The ring broke at another match. This is from Berto. And TLC 2011 was when Brian cashed in. Thank you for clarifying, Berto. You got to remember, I know that Rob probably looks like he's the oldest on the podcast, but it's me. It's me. I'm the oldest. So things are going to start breaking down.
Are you actually older than Rob?
I am older than Rob.
You're 93.
Right. Bobby Lashley's head is as wet as Roman's hair. That's final thought for Kevin. Medine, what the fuck did you call back for?
Oh, I thought that you guys might have needed a mud report, but apparently you're wrapping it up.
Oh, you have some mud report? Oh, I forgot what Alex wanted to talk about. The big cruise announcement for Jericho's cruise. The main event is going to be a 6-man tag match between Jericho and the Bucks and Kenny Omega, Cody Rhodes, and Marty Scurll.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Wow.
Right?
they've already teased on Instagram Jericho and the Young Bucks a couple of months ago, so that wasn't a big surprise. I think the biggest surprise is seeing Cody reunite with the Bullet Club. If you've been following that storyline, which has been really good. Him and Kenny had some knockdown, drag-out fights over the past few months, but now they're on the same team with Marty. It'll be cool to see.
I think Cody is fantastic right now. He's firing all cylinders.
Cody's one of my Cody's one of my favorites now.
And this will be one of Cody's only matches between now and All In because he wanted to take a little bit of a break. So after he announced his break, they announced this match.
He's got to work where Flip Gordon's replacing him at a pay-per-view tomorrow in Nashville against Nick Aldis. Or actually, that he's getting a title shot, rather, ahead of Cody. So that'll be, if you're following that storyline, that's funny, too. But anyway, real quick. Okay, so Hogan came back. It's 50-50. Titus walked out, wouldn't shake his hand yesterday. Mark Henry talked with Hulk, and Hulk basically said, hey, I'll do whatever I got to do to make it right. People are looking at me different now. So that's to paraphrase that.
Oh, so just because WWE forgave Hogan, some of the other wrestlers are not?
Yeah. Right now, it's not all. It's all everybody's cool. No, not quite. Some people are not quite cool. Titus is definitely one of them. So they filmed something for it yesterday. So I don't know if that made it seem kind of disingenuous about the whole apology thing. I saw one tweet on Twitter the other day that said something to the effect of Hogan ends up being some type of special enforcer for the main event for the Universal title. Bobby Lashley wins, and Hogan ends up raising Bobby Lashley's hand, handing him the belt to try to,
that
smooth
could be
that over
interesting.
and show that as making amends.
It wouldn't surprise me if they give Bobby Lashley the belt, though.
I mean, just the symbolism, I guess, of it would kind of, clear Hogan for good. Like, nobody would ever question anything anymore.
Or it's going to make Bobby Lashley look even more like an Uncle Tom.
Now,
I know. It's fucking horrible, but it's a WWE idea.
Okay, we talk about race jokingly a lot on this show. Unfortunately, I lived in Memphis for a little while where even though the National Civil Rights Museum is there, race is still a humongous issue there. And the card is played. And one of the things that it taught me there is very simply this, is that no matter what, Medine, when you are labeled a racist, there's nothing that you can really do to shake that stigma if somebody believes it. Okay, you could have 10 close black friends. You could have no close black friends. You could have, shows of gesture like handing a black man the belt and yada, yada, yada. But even if that happened, that's not as monumental as if it was the WWE Championship, because they've had black world champions. This will be the first black Universal Champion, but this will only be the 5th Universal Champion of all time anyway, because he's held that belt hostage. It's tough. If he hands Bobby Lashley the belt, and I was one of these people that thinks that Hogan is racist, him handing a black man a belt doesn't change my opinion at all.
Nope.
No, if anything, it makes it worse.
Right. It's like anything that comes out of Trump's mouth just makes it worse.
Fine.
Yeah,
anyway.
and that. Speaking of, that'll also make Lashley tied to Trump and Hogan. So I don't know if that's good for Lashley.
Yeah. I don't know. It's bad.
Wait,
unless Lashley just clotheslines the crap out of him right after, which would be hilarious.
I don't know. We're running long, Medine. What else you got?
Lashley and Trump were not related, but they were a team at WrestleMania.
That was my point.
Vince and Umaga.
That was my point.
Only I'm allowed to call in. What else you got? Hurry up.
All right. I also got this girl, MJ Jenkins. She was beefing with Naomi on Twitter a couple years ago, talking about Naomi stole her look. Well, WWE just signed her. And Naomi responded to the acquisition by saying, even though Sis tried to shade me, I wish her the best, and I hope she does well. Sticking with the ladies, Charlotte was on Maria Menounos' podcast talking about her double silicone rupture that she had. Apparently, the initial procedure was done when she was 21 using saline. Saline didn't work out. She got them replaced with silicone. No issues until this past spring. She started feeling shoulder pain. Didn't know what it was. Got a mammogram. Free-floating silicone was in her chest cavity, coming from both breasts. So that's the reason why she's been out Basically, her tits have been leaking. And she was very candid to say that, too.
And Bang Bus is drooling right now.
Yeah, she said it just like that, I'm sure, Medina. My tits are leaking.
No, seriously. Like, if you read some of I'm paraphrasing, obviously, but it's not too far from that, because she said, listen, right now, I'm not
I want to
out for
see it somewhere
injury.
where she said,
my tits are leaking, like Robert Paulson in Fight Club.
Yeah.
That's exactly what she said.
My
she said
tits
that my
are
cocktails
leaking.
And that's the reason why I'm not wrestling right now.
Is Robert Paulson.
His name was Ashley Flair. Raw gives us a rematch between Reigns and Lashley, while SmackDown Live makes us think who will be the number one contender. That's final thought for Alex. What else you got, Medine? You're dragging my show along.
Oh, all right. No, I'm not actually. You are, because you're talking while I'm trying to do this. July 31st is when she'll be back. And speaking of dates, the New Year's Day edition of SmackDown will not be live. It'll actually be taped the previous Saturday, December 29th. So
they need to give Christmas
and not be live.
Yeah, they need to give them 2 weeks off anyway, and just show a highlight, a best of, some kind of overproduced edition.
Yeah.
Well, remember they made them work Christmas last year.
Yeah,
well, they do that with NFL players and NBA players all the time. NHL players, they'll do that.
That's them, though. You know, it's a little bit different for them. It's not all the teams.
Wow. Leo points out.
Anyway, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
I'm out. Peace.
Yeah. Goodbye.
Oh.
Anyway, Leo points out here, Kofi literally came from a land with rampant apartheid.
What?
And Ghana, West Africa. And so now, what the fuck do you want? Medine called back to hang up again on me.
At least it's not that stupid Chris Benoit crap.
I think they could have had an 8-man tournament on Raw and let it play out through the week, Stike says. They could have done anything. Don't forget they also announced that there was going to be a multi-man match to determine the number one contender. And then the next week, Kurt rescinded that. TP Poker says on Twitch, can I ask a question? Yeah, go ahead and ask it. We're doing final thoughts, so make it quick. Not to be rude, but you showed up a little late. I'm going to be at Raw in UK in November, Teddy says. Great. You probably won't make it home. Final thought, hoping for a good summer scam. If Brock drops the belt, that'll be just fine. Leo, you weren't here last night. At the end of SummerSlam, Brock Lesnar will not be the champ, no matter what. Whether he fights Bobby Lashley or Roman Reigns, and whether he defends or loses, the guy who's going to have the belt at the end of the night is going to be Braun Strowman, because he's going to cash in his briefcase just like he said he would last night. The only worthwhile thing coming out of Raw's contribution to SummerSlam is going to be Braun is your new champ, Brock goes away, and Roman doesn't have the belt. Maybe Bobby Lashley pins Brock before he loses it to Braun. I don't know. But Braun is going to be your champ. Alex says he's out of here. Teddy says he's going to bring an MOWP sign. Please do, Teddy. Make us big over there. TP Poker, I'm going into my final thought here for your question. You got to get it. I'm going to take my kids to the movies tomorrow. See you later, Stike says. Enjoy that. Tell Carmen we said hello as well. Final thoughts. You can follow us real quick. Plug time. Marked Out Podcast on Twitter at SmartMark Show. Facebook, Marked Out. Email markedoutpodcast@gmail. The fan line is 704-444-0084. Again, this is SmarkDown. I am the Jew that leads the crew, Adam Baum. Irish showed up late, didn't see the show, contributed something. So it's better than, not showing. Medine called in. Tried to cram in a whole show's worth of comments.
I did want to throw one final thought in, though.
Oh, you do?
I think that Braun Strowman should be the spokesperson for Smithfield Ham, so they can have a catchphrase called "Catch these hams."
Catch these hams. Tune in next time. Same smart time, same smart channel.
I'll catch you on the flip side.
Marked Out Podcast is recorded, edited, distributed, and marketed at U-Record Studios in Charlotte, North Carolina. For more information on optimizing your podcast for increased listenership, check out U-Record on Facebook, Twitter, and email sales@urecordstudios.com or visit the website www.urecordstudios.com.
Yes! 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 Yes!
You're listening to the Electronic Media Collective Podcast Network. Yeah, it's a mouthful. For more great shows, visit electronicmediacollective.com.